So we're at the start, we're on top of the tit. It's a little steeper than the rest of the courses really, and you can't really go higher up on the mountain. I mean, you're just at the top of it.
Oh, you gotta start with a good breathing up on the top, because you're gonna run out of oxygen. It's a long 5.5 miles and long 4+ minutes.
What you want to do is try to get as much speed as possible right away, because then it flattens out a lot and it's really long and flat after the start until you actually enter the skiers canyon.
The big thing is coming off the tit. That's like you know, once you get past that point, that's where all the nerves are racking up. That's pretty much a straight drop off for the most part. You come down through there and you come into the skiers canyon.
So it just goes flat, and it's long, and you wait, and you just, you know, your legs are starting to hurt.
The canyon itself is only about a half a mile long. It's long, windy corners, which isn't the best for long skis. They don't like to turn.
So I'm entering the turns. It's slightly side hill, so I have to stay on my edges a little bit, not to lose it. Kind of go over some bumps, try not to catch too much air, not to slow down again. I mean, the canyon is not really technical that much. It's really flat and long, and anything that makes you lose speed is bad, basically.
You can't make mistakes, because every mistake that you make and you open up and your body opens up and catches air, slows you down. Any skis, edge catching, you know, whatever, you gotta let them float, but you can't really open up.
So I mean, it's a long, windy corner, and then you come around a big corner, and that's where you hook up with your snow machiner.
You know you're coming to hookups. You're getting ready to switch your mindset to that part of the race. You know, hooking up and then following up your driver. So the bottom of the skiers canyon is just pretty straight. There's one last turn right when I come to you, and she sees me at the last minute there, pretty much. So I turn and I can see my driver right then, and she starts moving toward me to the point where we hook up. Yep.
And then you just hoping that the guy comes by you. You grab the pole, which is not our case. We don't use rope, we use pole. And then I just look behind him and see where he's gonna go, and then just follow him the best way, help him around, push him with the pole, pull him, whatever I can do to help him to turn the machine, because sometimes they turn, sometimes they don't. Sometimes he's got a traction, next time he doesn't. So
I see my driver, and she's going kind of slowly until she actually can tell what speed I'm at, and then she wants to meet me and be right ahead of me like this. She hands me the rope, which has a stiff PVC part to it, so she can hand it to me. And this is a really technical part here. You want to be as fast as possible. Just bam, bam, grab the rope, and then she can accelerate to get rid of the slack in the rope. And once this is done, then we're set to go.
And then go through there, and it's pretty much long, windy corners again behind the snow machine. It's a little easier to turn when you have the snow machine pulling you, because you can jerk you around the corners. So that's a little bit easier, but you got to hang on. That's the hard part.
So then from there, I'm just basically not even worried about her. I'm setting up for corners as if I was by myself, but still not using a brake, or you know, I'm just steady on the gas all the time. That's the most technical part, is really just going into all the turns with the good easy speed.
I don't know, the canyon's probably my toughest part.
Well,
I have a hard time.
The only time for you.
Yeah, yeah, that's the toughest part. I usually I'll veer off course sometimes, you know, and my problem is not looking ahead far enough. I like to look right in front, which, you know, I'm learning to get away from that.
Just the corners and picking lines. Basically, when I'm going through the canyon, I'm always thinking ahead of what corner's next, and setting myself up for all the corners. And coming up the top of the canyon is just all speed. It's just all speed and being ready and set up before it even comes.
And then coming up out of the canyon, out of the Polaris Canyon, is a long winding corner that once you get to the top of there is where the top speeds hit. That's where they'll be hitting, you know, 80, 85 miles an hour behind the snow machine.
85 to 88 miles an hour.
88 is the record.
Yeah, so that's really fast.
Not
right
our
there.
record.
The skier's pretty damn tired by the time you get there. I mean, your legs are just burning because you're just tucking all the time, or trying to tug all the time, you know. So we get as much speed as we can, and this here is release, and I have to let go of the rope and get
straight downhill from there.
And it's only about leg pain. The pain gets worse from that point on. And you don't want to make a mistake, because if you do, then the whole thing was for nothing, because there's only one try. It's not like you can go and redo it, so you just have to hold it all the way to the finish. That's it.
So, I mean, for a good skier that has done downhill before, it's not that technical. It's more physical than anything else, you know. And the roughest part for us skiers is the pull up the canyon, for sure.